We're here with former Sparta, I believe, quarterback Ahmed Fareed, and a whole lot of other things. But Ahmed, talk to us just about how excited you are here at Big Ten Media Day to be a part now of NBC's coverage of the Big Ten Football Conference.
So when it first got out that NBC was interested, I went knocking on every door that I could and being like, how can I be a part of this if we get it? And they're like, oh, but we haven't gotten it yet, so we need to get that first. But they knew my love of the Big Ten and how much every game meant to me growing up. Like, I grew up in Sparta, like you said, and I feel like half of our town, as it was throughout Grand Rapids, was Michigan, and half of the town was Michigan State. And I was on the University of Michigan side of it, and so some of my best memories growing up are when Michigan won. Some of my worst memories, Cordell Stewart, throwing that bomb against Michigan when they lost. And it just, for us to have it and have not only a game but like a primetime game, like I'm on cloud nine still.
From your point of view, how essential is the state of Michigan to Big Ten football?
Like, for me, I think like Michigan is Big Ten football because, we've added some schools here and they bring a different flavor. But like the feel for football, I think in Michigan and in Ohio is just different. And like, I'm biased, obviously, but I feel like that the following that you get for Michigan State, even when they're 570,000 people, and Michigan 100,000 people, even in their down years, it's like that is what Big Ten football is all about.
You yourself were once in the MHSAA ranks as a competitor. It's been a while since, but what is your view of the Western Michigan football scene on the prep level and the talent that's in this area?
Well, I've had the luxury of traveling around to a lot of different areas. I was in Virginia for a little while, and they got a lot of real good high school football talent there. And I was in California for five or 6 years, and now I'm in Connecticut living there. And I go to high school football games, and they do not compare to the atmosphere of covering high school football and playing in high school football. The same way I mentioned about it just feels a little bit different for Michigan and Michigan State in the Big Ten. High school football is a different breed, especially on the west side of Michigan. And so I hope people back home, back in my old hometown, know how special that is and know how hard that is to recreate because some of these games I go to in Connecticut, I go there with my dad, who was my former coach at Sparta too, and the crowds aren't the same. And so I miss that atmosphere, and you get it on Friday, and then you get it on Saturday for Michigan, and then as bad as the Lions were, you'd get it on Sunday too, and so it was like a full weekend of impassioned football fans rooting on their team.
Let's talk Lions. I know you grew up a Lions fan. Are you believing in the hype this year? There's a lot of positive vibes going on the other side of the state.
Well, I think as any Lions fan, like, expectations are a strange thing, right? And I don't know that we are totally prepared to have the high expectations. And I certainly wasn't prepared when I found out that our first game and the first game of the NFL season was going to be Chiefs and Lions. They're good, and I believe in Dan Campbell. I think he is a leader of men, and I think he has put the right people in places as coaches and now as players. And I look at that division too, and I'm like, yeah, I think they're better than the Bears, and I think they're better than the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. And the Vikings had a good year last year, but how much of that was smoke and mirrors? And so I see how it all makes sense. But as a Lions fan, a longtime Lions fan, it's like you don't want to totally go out there and expose yourself because the pain that is on the other side of that. But on paper, it looks like this should be a special year.